Hey, everybody, welcome to Over 50 Starting Over. This is a show that brings you awareness, information, inspiration to champion your third act. And I'm Barry Edwards.
And I'm Merle Garrison.
Got all that in there. All right.
That was great, man.
Yeah. Today, got a lot going on here. The Pete Hegseth thing, I don't know if they have a name for it. Is there a gate of some sort? Boat gate? Or something. It's just all over the news with Admiral Frank Bradley. He's testifying for his career right now. Dem lawmaker Jim Himes, he says he's deeply disturbed. And on the much lighter side at the end of the show, I have a great video of Prince Harry. He just delivered the worst late night appearance since Chevy Chase. We got a lot going on. Oh, wow. God, you didn't know about that. You follow those clowns a bit.
Wait, have I? What, the clowns? Which clowns are we talking about?
The royal people.
I don't follow the clowns.
You kind of said that before. Hey, if you got anything to add in there, I mean, please do. As far as current events. Okay.
Current events. Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the Tim Walz thing and what's going on in Minneapolis. I mean, there's a huge breakdown that's happening. And maybe we can touch on the Campbell's soup thing because that actually affected my Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Because you guys, I know that you normally have chicken noodle soup, Campbell's chicken noodle soup for Thanksgiving. It's a budget Thanksgiving.
It's not. That's hilarious. No, but we do have the Campbell's soup. It's the green bean casserole. It's a tradition in my family.
You use those like fried onion things on top?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Don't read the ingredients on that whole dish.
Don't read anything.
No.
Well, anyhow, so we changed it up. They helped us by telling us everything. Anyhow, we'll get to that as well.
Oh, okay. But you wanted to start off talking about parents. I do have something to talk about.
I just want to say, I mean, last night, so my mom and my stepfather, Larry, are in town, and they're staying over at my Aunt Carol's house, Larry's sister, she's actually selling her place, but she's renting it for now, and she lives in Florida. So they live like 25 minutes from my house here for the next, several weeks. And oh my gosh, I love it. You know, I mean, okay, so last night, full moon, after work, it's dark here at about 5:30. I jump on my motorcycle and I head out to see my mom and my stepfather. And I was so giddy. And I just got on the road and the full moon is lighting up the road and everything. It's just beautiful. And we had dinner last night. Oh my God, it was so wonderful. First off, getting on my motorcycle. It is just
the time of year for it. Finally.
Oh, right? And it was just beautiful out there. It's perfect weather out here. A little chilly, but I got all the warm gear and everything like that. And that's one of my favorite things.
A little chilly here too.
Yeah, I've heard.
Go ahead.
Anyhow, just being able to spend, it was just me. I went up there, just a quick thing. Anne-Marie made dinner and I brought it over. It's just wonderful. We had the best time. And then I rode home, which was exhilarating. And I just started to think last night, what a blessing it is. Last week we talked about how, we're going to both be turning 60. I can't even believe it. 60 this coming year. And I started to think about, gosh, how many people have parents that they can go and see at this age, and what a blessing it is that that happens. So, did you get to spend time with your mom this Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm going to as well again this weekend because as you bring this up, you just had me change course completely on the first segment. Once again, I'm going to push what I currently have to next week because I want to talk about something important. I didn't plan to talk about this, but a week or two ago, right before Thanksgiving, a couple days before Thanksgiving, my mom was driving down the road and her vision filled with, she said, bubbles. And she pulled off the road very quickly into a Walmart parking lot. It's just fortunate she was right there. And she says she just pulled over and waited a long time till it cleared up about 50%. Then she went into Walmart to test for herself how she's doing. And she eventually got to a point where she felt she could drive back home. And that's what she did. It took her, this is not surprising, it took her to talk to my aunt, which is her best friend, right? My aunt, tell my aunt about what happened. And my aunt's like, you're going to the emergency room right now. And so that took 2 days. And so she had a couple tests, and they at first thought it was a mini stroke, or called a TIA. This is what we're still, now they don't know what it is, but she still has some effects. And sometimes she says she's doing great, and other times she's doing not so great. And they had scheduled an appointment with a neurologist in freaking March. And so MRI this Saturday, neurologist appointment in March. We don't know what it is. It could be an indication of an oncoming stroke. It's serious until you know better. It's very serious.
Right.
So this is the point that I want to make. By Lisa's prodding, this is like her language, the healthcare industry.
Yes.
She knows this inside and out. And she's always been the advocate that says you have got to take the bull by the horns at the healthcare industry. They are not.
Boy, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, they're not going to do it for you. We grew up thinking that. It really was.
We did. That's
they
how we
told
were
us what to do.
Yes, that's exactly right.
They don't know. Right. They just try to get rid of you and on to the next person. So she's like, you've got to, all right, long story short, I'm a big chat guy, or I should say AI guy. I use various AI, but I use it all day, every day. I'm like, oh yeah, I have got to take, I also have power of attorney medically for my mom. So I took the bull by the horns with all of this, and I told her after, and she was actually grateful after. I thought she might get mad. She's very independent. But anyways, I put everything. I called her. I'm like, here's what I know, chat. And chat's like, okay, now get me this additional information. Ask her these questions. I do all this. This took a day, but I have all of her medical information, insurance, every appointment, every symptom, everything in here now. And I got her an appointment. So she has this MRI for Monday. She had the neurological appointment for March. Now she has the MRI on a Saturday, if I didn't say. I think I might have said it. She has the same MRI appointment this Saturday. And I have her neurological appointment moved up to Monday. So it's going to happen 2 days after. And I already told them I need the scans so that we don't go empty-handed to this appointment 2 days later with the neurologist. The point being is take control of this stuff, people, and use AI if you can, if you're at all adept. And if you're not, ask it. Ask it, what do you need? Say, hey, this is what I want to do. How do I move forward? It'll tell you.
Great advice this is, Barry. And this is something all of us this age are either you're thinking about having to deal with this, or you're dealing with it, or
it's going to come tomorrow and you don't know it.
And you're full, or that was my last choice, or you're fooling yourself and you're thinking, I never have to worry about this. This is stuff that could be in your front window tomorrow.
The last 3 years, especially the last 2 years, Lisa and I have just been inundated with family healthcare stuff. And we've talked about it, living situations, all this stuff. We've gotten very educated on, and we've talked about it, Alzheimer's and assisted living. And this kind of thing. And I, like I said, I didn't prepare to talk about this, but you reminded me.
Yes,
it is. Yes. I want to tell you once again, if you don't know who's power of attorney with a parent, get that straightened out now.
I want to ask about that because I've heard about how important this is. Can you tell the audience what the power of attorney does and how do you get that?
What you asked me, how do you get healthcare power of attorney? What does it encompass? So I asked Chad and I said, try to keep it brief. And here is what it said. I haven't read it yet. How do you get healthcare power of attorney? Download your state's official form. For me, it's Ohio Attorney General or Department of Health website.
Okay. All right.
Fill it out, name of the person who can make medical decisions if you can't, and sign it in front of 2 adult witnesses or a notary. Now, I have to say, I don't remember getting healthcare power of attorney from my mom. She reminded me that I do have it. So it's been several years. I figure she
Okay.
must have done
All
it
right.
through her insurance company or something. So I'll say it again, sign it in front of 2 adult witnesses or a notary. Give copies to your doctor, hospital, and the person you chose. I know where that paperwork is in my filing cabinet here.
Good. Yeah.
What does it cover? In plain English, your agent can make medical decisions if you're unconscious or unable. Covers treatments, surgery, medications, hospitalization, end-of-life decisions in approving or refusing procedures. Does not give control of finances, medical decisions only. That's where it ends. And I think that's a very important one to understand. And if it says if you want, I can give you a 10-second delivery line. That's fine. My mother and I are very close. We think very similarly. And we have talked a lot about, we're on the same page with end of life decisions and all of that kind of thing. And so even though I have an older brother, she's more comfortable with our rapport with me and those kind of decisions. So I say that because I think if it's between you and your siblings, I think you need to have that same discussion with your remaining parent or parents and decide who has that kind of understanding and relationship amongst you and your siblings. So who is best qualified? Take ego out of it.
Yep.
Just your heart. Leave your heart in there.
Yeah. Very good, Barry. This is very interesting. I've heard, I've got a friend of mine whose sister got cancer, and it was a very fast moving cancer, and he had power of attorney, and he basically took care of her, and I think there's financial power of attorney as well.
Yes,
that you
and
can
it's
get,
completely different. Yeah.
Right. And so he had that as well. So he was able to close out her estate. I understand that if you don't have this before that happens, that this becomes a nightmare.
Yes.
This is important stuff right here. I want to go back. I love how you used chat. That was such a great thing to say. I want to just go back to this, that these things that you're talking about, it's so important that we're talking about them right now, because if you're not in this crisis mode, these are things you can think about without all of the stress and fear and anxiety that goes along with it. And I found that when you have stress, fear, and anxiety, it inhibits your critical thinking.
You make bad decisions.
Right. It's not good to make decisions when you're no, I think it's important we just have these conversations ahead of time. You're reminding me hey, I got to talk to Mom and Larry about some of these things here. And so I have, my mom is married, so she has a spouse, and maybe a little bit of a different conversation than you would have as your
maybe. But what if they got in a car accident?
Yeah. There's
and you
similarities.
lose one, your mom remains.
Right.
Be
There's still the
prepared.
conversation has to happen. It's just a little bit different. That's all.
And as uncomfortable as it is, especially it's like, how do I bring this up? I've been waiting for the story. I've been waiting for the right time to But my real point
is now.
Make the time, do it, jump in head first, because you will both have a big sense of relief after you have that conversation. Because it is something, if you haven't had it, it's nagging at you in the back of your head.
And this is about love too. You mentioned a couple of things too in your story. The grabbing the bull by the horns. Boy, is that ever a
Can't
thing.
say it enough.
I mean, we were trained as kids that you just go to the hospital, it'll be fine.
It was so different.
Oh my gosh, if you just like go to the hospital by yourself, you may never come out. I mean, that's what
Dude,
it
I'd
seems
get
like, right?
scolded. What do you mean you didn't take care of that wound the way I told you or whatever? I mean, they told you what to do. They knew your name. They remembered
Right.
what was going on with you.
They remembered everything,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
These were the and your doctor, your was like the most trusted person in the neighborhood,
Yep.
right? Like this is and it's like you've got to do this. So I want to go back to this. Your mother had an appointment in March. Did you say you got it moved?
Dude, I got it moved to this Monday. And the
Okay.
way I
That's
did that,
I didn't want to. How
I
did you
want
do
to,
that?
it's
Yes.
important that you asked that because I left this out. So the reason that took place is she's with, I can say the names, I guess. These hospitals are so big anyway
Yeah,
here in
yeah.
Cleveland. So her health care is established under a UH provider, University Hospitals provider. So they want to stay within their system. All they
Of
care
course.
about is the almighty dollar. And
Like all of them.
well, Cleveland Clinic has a gigantic neurological department. So while
Hmm.
they're extremely limited, March, in spite of the fact that this is a very serious situation, see, they should have been like immediately, here are the limitations of what we have, but I see here that your insurance will allow us to go outside of here with no problem whatsoever and get a Cleveland Clinic neurologist.
Yes,
They
I
did
see.
not.
They didn't do that. Uh-huh.
But I put
Okay.
it into AI, into chat, and found immediately. Dude, I didn't have to put in any paperwork. I had to put in, it is Medicare. Is it Medicare or Medicaid? I get
Well,
them.
there's two. Medicare is the federal, and Medicaid. Usually people use Medicaid.
Okay.
It's the
Along
state
with
plan.
her particular insurance plan. They jointly work together. I just said that to chat. I said, do you need any more information? It says, no, everything is covered right here. You can go definitely call Cleveland Clinic. Here's exactly what to say. It gave me the script. And I mean, 100%. I strongly recommend that
Wow,
you
this is
guys.
great.
And by the way, Mark's AI tip is coming up at the end of the show. Catch it.
Oh,
I
hey,
listened to
how
it
convenient.
every week and I get something out of it, even though I'm so well versed with AI. It's very, because look, man, trying to navigate our medical situations today, we're unprepared for it. Because as we're stating here, it's not like it was 30 years ago at all. I mean, I'm telling you what, with my mother, it has taken, with my mother's situation that is not uncommon, it has taken me, Lisa, my aunt, and AI to get this on track.
Mm, wow. I mean, talk about taking a village. I mean,
Yeah, right,
seriously,
man. Yeah.
that is really, really something. It's a full court press on these kinds of things right here. Now, um, your mother. Okay, so how is she doing right now? I mean, like, is she okay right now?
She's okay right now. And I'm taking Charlie out there tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'll probably be arriving as she gets back from her tests. As I said, there's an MRI being done, thank God. And I wanted to say and something else. I have it in my notes, but another test as well. I'm going to make sure that, okay, so this gets put on. I don't have the notes right in front of me, but from my memory, I need to make sure this gets put on their Epic something care thing
Yeah,
where
Epic is the electronic medical record.
there you go. So that because these hospitals now finally share
Are
information.
integrated, right?
Yeah. So that when we go on Monday to this new neurologist appointment with the Cleveland Clinic, they're prepared to go to the next level. So to answer your question, getting the truth out of my mother is kind of difficult. She's going to tell you she's better than she actually is.
Uh-huh. This
So,
seems to be a common thing here, Barry, is
well,
that
she's also like Martha Stewart. She's a tough German woman and all that, and she doesn't want to worry people. All of that. I mean, she's really a very admirable mother, but there's the other side of that where it's like, but I need to know the truth.
she's independent though.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. She's
Right.
fiercely independent, which is a good thing, but at the same time, it could get you in trouble. I've gotten myself in trouble being independent, right? Being the
Mm,
Lone Ranger, and
yeah.
when
I'm
you need
terrible
help, you
about that.
need help.
Yeah, I'm
This is the
terrible about
thing.
it.
I know. And these are things too, as we're thinking about our mothers, guess what? We're following in their footsteps. We're gonna
Oh,
be there too.
yes.
And
Yes.
we're gonna have to put our pride away
Hmm.
and let our people help. In my case, let my kids help me and all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff, right? I mean, this is serious
You know,
stuff right here.
just briefly, because I want to move on, and I actually ask you if you've raised so many very important points. I never expected this morning. Um, but have you felt like, okay, here we are, almost 60, and I said this to my mom recently, like the gap between us has closed
It
considerably.
seems like that, right? Like now we're
Yeah,
peers.
we're all old. That's what it seems like in my
You
family.
know,
We're
it's
just all
funny
old.
though. Is like my mom looks at me and thinks I'm a kid still. I'm a 60-year-old kid. Oh, you're
Isn't
just a
that
young
funny?
pup. Like I'm a young pup.
I
That's
know.
funny, right?
Don't you love when someone says that to you, like at the gym or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
I'm
Like,
like, yeah, my
yes.
shoulders hurt. Like, I'm 60 now. Oh, 60? You're a kid.
Yeah, yeah. I'm good with feeling like a kid. I still actually
I
feel
know.
like
In most ways, I do. I just have a lot of aches and pains in the
let me
morning.
ask you this. So with your mom around, a lot of people our age don't have their mom around. What would you say is like the best thing about being able to just call up your mom? Like what is the thing your one of the favorite things about your
Oh,
mom?
well, that's kind of easy but hard to explain. The rapport. As I mentioned earlier, my mom and I think a lot alike. I will tell her, I will talk to her on the phone at length about some crazy time travel movie or series that I watched
Yeah.
and talk about the quantum physics that's put in there. And literally, she'll listen and ask questions all along the way.
That's awesome.
Dude, there's not many people I can talk to about some of the weird ass things I think about. I
You
mean,
know,
really.
my mom does the same thing for me. I'll call her up. I talk to her several times a week, and we'll go on. I'll tell her all about the history thing I'm studying, or she's probably like, "Oh my God, he's talking about history again." But she's so engaged. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, you're so smart. Uh, I would say for me, the best thing is that my mom is a she's a huge encourager.
Okay, okay.
She believes in me.
All right.
And I still have that resource where if I feel down, I can call her up and tell her, "Mom, I'm concerned about this." And oh, you can handle this.
Yeah, that's
You
great.
have the smarts. You're coming from my mother. It's just like nobody else could put. I mean, it's like no one else could take that place, right?
There's
That's
trust.
my
There's only
mother.
one mother, dude. There's, I mean, dude,
I have a great one.
one day years ago, I was having problems with a client. I was very stressed about it. And I think I may have been even on my way. I remember when I talked to my mom, I was in my car and it may have been on the way to that client, but I told her about it. I was really troubled. I don't remember exactly what she said, to be honest, but I remember thinking, I just got the best business advice I ever got from my mom.
Wow.
And dude, that's there's a maternal instinct there where they can pull
The
from
whole
beyond.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't explain it any better
No,
than that.
no, it's mother's magic right there.
Yeah, yeah.
And and I have a stepfather too, Larry, and I got to say I'm super blessed to have him in my life as well. And he does such a great job of taking care of my mom,
Oh,
actually.
that's awesome.
He's all over that. He does a great job. He's a great man. I love him. I'm so glad he's in my life, and I just have so much fun being
Just
around him and my mom.
briefly, how's his knee? Did he get that looked at?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's getting better. It's funny. He's never really going to tell you if he's really hurt or whatever. He's quite the man, and he's going to keep on plowing through and
He hurt
everything.
his knee on the
Doesn't
way
complain.
from the airport to out there. In
To the
fact,
rental car
hurt
that
it
was
pretty
like a
bad
mile
though.
away, or 10 miles away. It seemed like. So no, he's getting better. Everything's getting better, and everything's on the grow and the mend, as he would say. And so, yeah, talk about positive, man. I have some very, very positive parents in my life, and that's a
Good.
big influence too.
All right, dude. We got to move
Rubs
on. Your
off.
mic is sucking today.
Is it really?
Yes. So
Hate when that happens. Why? Why?
yeah, I don't know what it is today, but you had a couple of really good stories there for current events. I do as well. Just
Well, I
the
just
the
wanted to
news
say this
proliferated.
Campbell soup thing was
Oh,
something
go
that
ahead.
came out right before Thanksgiving, and what a
I
weird
forget.
thing
We talked
happened.
about it. I totally forget what happened. Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
remember.
this is the
Yes.
VP and the chief security officer there got caught on
3D printed chicken.
yeah, he got caught on a mic. He says oh, I can't even say what he said because it's just
Oh, I
full of
could
the F
paraphrase.
word and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'll just read it. He's saying, "We have crap for poor people who buys this crap. I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. Barely anymore.
Barely.
Not
I haven't
healthy
in
now.
decades.
It's not healthy now that I know what the F is in it. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a effing piece of chicken from a 3D printer. Well, neither do I.
Right.
And we had this thing, Thanksgiving coming up where we the story gets worse. This is kind of interesting, but you know where the Maumee River is?
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like by
so
Toledo.
another story came out right on the heels of that saying
That's
that
the
Campbell Soup,
headquarters.
yeah, in Napoleon, Campbell Soup is admitting to
Oh, right.
thousands of Clean Water Act violations at its Napoleon plant. Court filings show that the company illegally dumped pollutants like phosphorus and E. coli
Oh,
into the Maumee River
God.
more than 5,400 times since
Oh, my.
2018.
5,400 times, which leads to Lake Erie, the Great Lakes.
Environmental groups say that fueled toxic algal blooms in Lake Erie, and now a trial next year will decide penalties and how Campbell has to fix the problem.
I don't know, dude.
Uh,
This is like Exxon Valdez when they did that gigantic oil spill, which was supposed to linger for 10 years or whatever. You know, they seem just fine. Doesn't seem like anything ever, and even if something were to happen to them, it would have just got pushed on back onto us, the consumer. With Campbell's, I don't know anybody that eats Campbell's soup. I haven't anymore. I haven't for decades. But I would think that they need to fund such a massive cleanup that would probably put an end to the company. And I doubt that'll happen.
Hey, let me have an opportunity to share my screen.
Oh,
This
right.
is this is part of a bigger problem, I think, which is we're discovering that all of our trusted food products have crap in them.
Oh,
You know what I
God. I
mean?
mean, we all know that now.
It's a terrible thing. And here, Campbell's had always advertised themselves as sort of the American food that you can get. And remember the Campbell's commercials,
Mhm.
soup is good food. It was just like that. I wanted to be able to pull up this article right here because this goes along with it. This article talks about the food processing plants that actually were burnt down between either burnt or exploded between 2000 and
Oh,
the end
right.
of 2021 and 2022. There, Here's a compiled list of nearly 100 fires from 2021 to 2022 in food processing plants. And I'm just scrolling through this, and it is blowing me away that all of these processing plants all over the country, look at this, Barry. These were all destroyed. All kinds. Look at chickens
Yeah, yeah.
destroyed.
We've been through this
Yeah,
before.
this is the and so what in the live long day is going on with this kind of stuff? And the hits keep coming, man. I mean, it is. I'm finding it to be to mitigate this. Like, what kind of stuff are you doing anything? We are doing a couple of things over at my house in order to mitigate this type of a thing. So what ended up happening in Thanksgiving was that Anne Marie went to the store and she just bought a bunch of green beans, and she went and got mushrooms and did a homemade
Oh, sure.
uh, um, green bean casserole. We still use those onions, by the way, but that's probably the worst part. But
It
that
is.
was way more, it tasted way better. We're also doing stuff like we found a local butcher
Oh,
that we
that's
get
good.
our meat from now, because we're hearing about like bovine being injected into all the cows
Sure.
now in order to make it so that they don't fart, and it's actually destroying these cows. And but are you doing anything to mitigate this stuff? Because it's a real thing.
Yeah, yeah. We make clean food for the most part. You'd never find a Campbell's product in our house for sure. And as far as Thanksgiving goes, we have that green bean casserole that somebody still brings every year. And
Oh,
half the people, the older people always eat it, and they don't realize
older
that.
people.
Yeah, older than us. They don't realize that most of those ingredients in there have been replaced with chemicals. But we
Yeah.
bring all kinds of alternative, like vegetables and stuff that are just, Lisa's an amazing cook with the vegetables, and they're every bit as popular. And so, but they're clean. And so we bring, and half of our family is aware of this nutrition and does bring clean food. So we do pretty good in that regard. More
Yeah, right
people
on.
are becoming aware. I think about this a lot. I'm a little disappointed that we are not getting monthly updates on what the heck RFK Jr. is doing and accomplishing in the food industry.
I agree with that.
I have no
I
idea.
would have
Never hear about it.
expected to hear a whole lot more than what I'm hearing right now. I'm disappointed too.
Yeah, yeah. I never hear anything, but I wish we did, because that for sure it is a subject that all of us are becoming aware of if we haven't been already. Food is poison, and most of us know this.
Yeah. And so, but the whole thing is that we've got to help people out here, because there's one thing that I find is it's hard to talk to people about this kind of stuff because people get defensive. They like the food, they're comfortable with it, and they don't want to hear about this. But this food is just the what well, here's something I was looking at is 3D meat. How do they do that? I was studying that cancer cells can be used to make this kind of meat. So
Wow.
I don't have all of the information on this, but if you start to dig into what actually makes this stuff, it's horrifying.
There's a lot of creepiness about the theories of eating basically cloned meat, bioengineered meat,
Right.
and I mean, I don't know where it's going to shake out. I don't know if we're going to find in the future that there's a health problem that derives from it or not. It's just creepy, so we just try to find a way to choose a team and dig our heels in and argue about that. But I could see, on the one hand, if we can bioengineer meat and not have to kill animals anymore, and it's very healthy and clean, wow, I think that would be great. On the other hand, if there's some kind of, how if among cannibalism, it creates crazy biological stuff inside people or other animals. Like, what if there's something that, 20 years of eating bioengineered meat, we find that we're like getting mind worms or something? I mean, I don't know, but I
Yeah.
don't think that we quite have enough information yet. Okay, with that, buddy,
I
we
hear
got to
you.
move on to some stuff that's just really, really in the news now. So the boats, blowing up boats, is once again in the news. I don't want to beat a dead horse about this. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it on a couple of occasions, but now it's in the news that there was a HEGSETH Pete Hegseth is kind of under the microscope now because he's accused of saying kill everybody, style order, and this is called double tap in military terms, and that means go back and strike out any survivors. And so they're blowing up boats. A couple guys are found in the water, defenseless, and they go back and get killed. This is what is kind of on trial. Did that happen? Doesn't it? What are the ramifications here? So Admiral Frank Bradley is now in a closed door grilling because he ordered the second strike. But lawmakers like Jim Himes, he's Democrat, House of Intel ranking member, walked out of the briefing saying the footage of the two injured survivors being blown up again was one of the most troubling things he's ever seen. Bradley, the admiral, says that they were still in a fight, in quotes. So that's the rationale for doing this doubling back. But Congress wants to know whether he acted on his own or under some kind of vague kill everybody direction that Hegseth is rumored to have been given. Now, I don't know if you have any additional intel on this, but
I don't.
It's disturbing optics. And I said this before a couple of weeks ago, just the blowing up of boats in and of itself, I can't understand the decision making that's going on with the administration here, because it's one thing if you can convince your base that this is okay, but anybody outside your base isn't going to be like, hey, this is the American way. This is constitutionally, and I looked it up, the Constitution says even outside of our borders that humans have a right to trial. And
where does it say that in the Constitution?
Okay. All right. Fifth Amendment, due process clause. Government cannot deprive anyone of life, liberty, or pursuit without due process of law. Blowing up a boat and the people in it without arrest, charges, trial, and imminent threat is a deprivation of due process, which is unconstitutional. Fourth Amendment, unreasonable seizure. Well, I don't know about that, but a boat is property, destroying the most extreme kind of seizure. If there's no immediate lethal threat, this is an unreasonable seizure and unconstitutional. Article 2 and the war powers limits. The president and military cannot use force outside of authorized war unless Congress authorizes it, or in a self-defense against an imminent threat. If neither applies, the legal use of military force, it is illegal to use military force under constitutional structure. Posse comitas. Not constitutional, but constitutional tradition. Not directly in the Constitution, but limits the U.S. military use forcing on people outside wartime, operating like judge, jury, executioner at sea is outside lawful authority. And international law, this number 5, the international law, treaty power, supremacy clause. Under the Constitution's supremacy clause, ratified treaties equal the law of the land. The U.S. is bound by Geneva Conventions, UN Charter, limits the use of force. Executing survivors or striking non-combatants violates these, which makes it unconstitutional via treaty obligations. Okay,
there's that's it right there. The Geneva Convention.
The Constitution doesn't need to say don't blow up boats. It already forbids the government from killing or destroying property without due process, imminent threat, and without lawful authority. The Fourth and Fifth Amendments make this unconstitutional. Even it's kind of stuck on boats.
Yeah. I think that there's a valid thing to take a look at here as far as the treaty piece that's in the Constitution. But as far as those amendments, I would argue that those are not for the world; those are for citizens. That's how that actually works. And that's actually why it was put together in the first place, is to protect the citizens. That is. But I do see your point here. Geneva Convention, it's a treaty. We signed it. And so we should, it is in our Constitution that the treaty is in there. Now, I think there's some gray area too, but we don't have to get all into that.
Yeah, it's not even the point. I mean, I know that
Oh, I think it is the point. I think it
I
is
know
the
you
point.
do. The two parties are going to create such a smokescreen that we can never
It's not
get
about
to
parties
the
though.
bigger point. Why the hell would this administration not just intercept these boats and not cause this giant problem? And see, here's the thing. America's never behaved this way before, and we've prided ourselves on being better, on being just, on being moral, and being a Christian nation that wouldn't behave like North Korea like this. There is an answer to that question, and I want to know what it is because there's no real transparency. People talk about it, throw that word around. Why the hell are we blowing up boats rather than, okay, and here's another thing. I heard Rand Paul say this in some hearing or something, but he
It's a good
said
question.
when boats are intercepted being accused of smuggling drugs, 25% of them are innocent. And so, doing the math, you just blow them out of the water. You're blowing up innocent people. 25%.
Wait, go back to that again.
Give or take.
I didn't really get how you. What are they saying about?
Rand Paul
Okay,
says
yeah.
that stats show that when suspected boats for smuggling drugs are intercepted, that 25% of the time they're innocent. They're not smuggling drugs.
I see.
So why are we not intercepting the damn things? And here's another equally puzzling part of this. I want the answers to these. I don't want to argue over whether it's constitutional or not, or moral or not. It's clearly.
No, I understand what you're
Lisa
saying.
said this to me this morning. Why would you not intercept them? These are just drug mules. These people, their lives are over with. As soon as they're intercepted, they can give up the goods go right up the ladder and get to the heart of things. It's kind of like shooting the drug dealer on the street. Why don't you take them in, as they do, and then find out who the bigger party is in this? I said that horribly. Why are they not intercepting these drug dealers, these drug mules, instead of killing them, which is bizarre as hell? Auction off their boats, okay, save the money on the $1 million missile, and then find out, get the intel. Because this isn't a war on drugs. It's under the guise of a war on drugs. It is not. We said this 2 months ago. I was repeating Glenn Greenwald said we are going to do a regime change war because of the oil in Venezuela. So, but this is the propaganda that is just quickly trying to be thrown out there to justify it. Dude, it doesn't add up. It doesn't look right. It doesn't smell right. What the hell, man? I don't like this. I don't like what our government is doing and the appearance of it. I said before, if you guys can buy into this small segment of the population that'll do whatever the Trump camp says, okay, fine. But there's the entire rest of the world. There's the entire 75% of the rest of the country that is independent, or God knows that the left, this is fuel for the left. It's napalm for the left. Why do it this way? I think it's horrible.
We don't have the answers. And I think a big part of the problem here is that we have a lame press. Our press is terrible. We don't have journalists. We don't have people that go to second level thought. I don't think that this is about necessarily drug war either. I don't think that that's the main thing at all. And I do think it has everything to do with that oil there. And here's what I see as the bigger picture is that somebody's going to get that oil. Right now, China is getting all of it. And they're using that whole area as leverage to eventually destroy us. That's what their goal is.
I heard
That's
set
what this
up
is
a
about.
military a
Oh yeah.
military
This is
operation there.
basically it's Belt and Road Initiative happening in Venezuela, where they're giving Venezuela now is on the hook for multiple billions of dollars in loans from China. And as a result, China's doing exactly what they've done every place else. They're building harbors to be able to support their military machines that they pull in there, that they'll point directly at the United States. This is about the great power struggle in the world that's happening. And the press isn't digging into it because all they're saying is, oh, Trump wants to do a drug war. And the only questions they're asking are about that. And it looks like the Trump administration is happy to answer their lame questions and keep it under wraps what they're doing to fight against Xi Jinping in China. We're having the
I
same type of thing that's happening in the Middle East right now. China's involved, and the press is not actually talking about what is happening and how China has been arming all of our enemies out there. And so this is a much bigger picture. And the according to the second article of the Constitution, and it is very important what's in the Constitution, the president has charge over the strategy and what we do with foreign policy. And I wish our press would get in there and start asking the right questions and needling these guys for the real answers on why it's actually happening because of this kind of thing. The general public is in the dark about what's going on, and how can we wrap our heads around what's happening when it looks like they're just murdering people in the middle of the sea? I
Well,
get
I
what you're
agree,
saying.
and I want to wrap that up pretty quickly. Though you can have the last word. As far as the press goes, I know, but then there's the other side of this whole damn thing that's been going on. Is that like the New York Times is suing the Pentagon, and this is all about them controlling the press that can come in there. And so it's like somewhere in my notes, I got way too many notes, but there's CBS and I don't know, maybe the New York Times, several. Oh, here it is. Major legacy outlets, CBS, ABC, Washington Post, etc., refused to sign an agreement where the Pentagon can screen what they're reporting about and veto what they're reporting about. And Looney Loomer and Matt Gaetz are in there in some regard.
Hey, Looney
Oh,
Loomer.
dude, I can't stand her. But okay, to your point. But if you're telling them made up words like narco-terrorist and drug war BS, you're already convoluting the story. What you just relayed to us a couple minutes ago, we talked about the China strategy that is going on there. Dude, I could buy into that all day.
That's exactly what's going on, and they're not talking
But
about it,
stop
which
blowing
is
up innocent
infuriating
people in
because that's what's
boats.
going on. Right, exactly. So why make us think that
What's going on?
when this is
Yeah.
happening? What? But here's the other thing: is Trump is a person that's not going to reveal the strategy. Even when he his run up to the first presidency, they asked him, "Oh, what would you do about this? What would you do about that?" And he's, "I'm not going to tell you because then I tell you, the enemy knows exactly what I'm doing." And
That's
so we
true.
have that going on too. And the press isn't loyal to America. I mean, they're not at all.
I would
So
say
why?
quite the opposite.
It's as if you're telling the enemy what you're going to do to defeat them. And you can't do that. And that's what's happened to our press. I'm terribly disappointed in how the Trump administration feels they have to do this
Yes,
in order
agreed.
to avoid telling the enemy exactly what their next move is going to be.
And that's a very good point. Like I said, I could buy the China stuff, and you and I get these things via free press anyway. But let's face it, this administration is pumping out ridiculous propaganda while blowing up boats. All of this is just not helpful. If you got any final thing to say on that, go ahead. Did you have another subject matter that you wanted
Well,
to
the
cover?
one thing I have is the Tim Walz thing,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
is super crazy what's going on right now. We've got reports now of the Somalian community in Minneapolis who have basically taken let me show you something. I've got something I just want to show because I can't even talk about it without it makes sense because it's so darn crazy what's going on here. here's the this is the Minnesota staff fraud reporting commentary. These people have been sending messages to all over on X regarding the fraud that's happening. And this is going back a time, but this is actually out to
Oh, that's right. The fraud. Okay. Could you please define this very simply? Because this is
here's what
for
happened. Yeah,
illegals,
during
right?
COVID, there were all these money things. We're giving money for this, we're giving money for that.
Yeah.
People need food. And then what happened in Minneapolis is you've got this huge Somalian community of refugees. You've got Ilhan Omar from Somalia, who's the congressperson there. And it's like really what I'm learning now, it's like a country inside of a country that
Yeah, I'm
they
hearing that
created.
too.
And it's totally supported by the governor, Tim Walz, who almost became our vice president. I'm showing a graph here of the fraud that happened and these organizations that filled out forms in order to get federal funding to you know and they didn't actually use the federal funding for what they said they were going to use it for. Surprise, surprise, right? Like this first one took $250 million feeding our future. They said they were feeding an army of kids that were starving because of the COVID crisis, and they took $250 million. Here's another one. Medicaid is all over this. So they duped Medicare, Medicaid for millions and millions. This is only $500 million altogether, but you can see
Only.
where this came
Jesus.
from. They're over billions now, and there's many people that have been convicted of this. What we're hearing from Tim Walz, this is interesting because this was shared with the press. It was shared with Tim Walz while he was running for president. They sent this over to Kamala. Ms. Harris, please listen to Minnesota state employees who work every day to deliver best services possible to our state and people who expect no less and pay our wages. Tim Walz has caused incredible harm to our state and agencies, retaliated against whistleblowers against fraud. He retaliated against them. Now
I'm
in the
not
news,
surprised.
what he's saying is, oh, how dare you go after a Somalian community? I mean, just to impugn a whole community is big. Yet, what we're finding out is billions of dollars has been built from the taxpayers, and much of that was sent over to Somalia to Al Shabaab, the terrorist group, who are killing, raping, and murdering all over that country right now. So our tax dollars have been going to a terrorist group and this money was built right out of the whole COVID funding that we have here. And more keeps coming out every day. And what I can't stand is how anytime somebody tries to attack this and say, this is what happened, it turns around that you're somehow a bigot for bringing this up. And this
Yes,
is the
yes, yes.
tactic that is just, I think, disgusting. It proves to me guilt that if your defense is that I'm a bigot for
Yep.
bringing it up, you're
Every
guilty,
time.
buddy. You're
Every
going
time. You're
down.
down to
And
your last card. That's what that is.
I can't wait to see to see justice happen. It better happen this time too,
We
because you
never
got a
see
whole
it.
state that's going down on this. We're finding out also that the state of Minnesota gave out all kinds of truck driving licenses to illegal people that are in there, and we've seen what happens with that. There's death on the roads. They
How
can't
do they
even read the signs.
how do they vote
Now, when they
like
get
this?
those
How did they let
licenses, they
this
can
happen?
vote. This is the takeover that's happening. Unfortunately, Tucker Carlson was right about his replacement theory. That's what he got fired over, along with everything he was talking about the voting machines.
Best thing that ever
Uh,
happened to him.
yeah, it really, because now we can get the total truth. Boy, am I
To
ever liking
millions more
his.
people.
I sure am loving his podcast too.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
turning me on to some great
Dude,
stuff, man. I
he's
like
just
him
got
more and more now.
clarity. He's got a
Yes, yes, he
lot of
does.
clarity.
He
Yeah.
really does. And I'm concerned for him too, because it turns out telling the truth today can get you killed.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
that's the threat. But I'm so proud of these courageous people that are bringing the truth. Boy, are they ever calling that guy a bunch of names. It seems to be that the thing. If all these people, all these names, and maybe it's worth checking out because that's the whole defense screen against that's what evil is doing.
That's the
Here's
last
one
line of
last thing.
defense.
Here's one last thing I'll say is here's Tim Walz trying to protect or saying that he wants to protect these Somalians because right they're black, right? He as a white guy has to protect these. How dare you say that? You know what, Barry? When it comes out that these people have built us for millions of dollars of hard-earned money, and it turns out that he was using that whole "oh, how dare you" thing to not only enrich himself, but let these people get away with it, doesn't that incite more racism instead of less racism? Like, aren't you the race baiter if that's what you're doing? And it's disgusting.
It's
That's all
true.
I have to say about that.
That what you said kind of reminds me of like uh the bleeding heart liberals that are it's always black people too. It's like, well, I think that because of systemic racism we need to
Uh,
lower scores for
uh,
law
that is
degrees.
so
And
sick
it's
right
like you
there.
just said the most racist thing ever
Well, and they're
in the
being
guise of not
brainwashed into
being,
believing
yeah.
this. They're being brainwashed in school to believe their teachers
Dude,
are telling them that.
that's how Charlie Kirk has been lambasted throughout the media as a racist because he did all these things where he's like, I would never get a black lawyer if you're but what they cut out is if they're going to have lower standards than
That's right.
everybody
Yeah,
else,
why
the
would you
real
do that?
racist
Why?
part.
And then there it is. That promotes racism.
Exactly.
It's terrible. Very
We're
good
in an
example, Barry.
insane
Yeah,
world, man.
we really are. And it's like the good guys. It's like here's the thing: is the evil is using these tricks like, oh, it's gonna benefit you if I print all this money and give it to you. You're gonna incite crime like what just happened, what we just saw, billions of dollars. You're gonna have inflation, you're gonna have this high dependence on the government. People aren't gonna think for themselves anymore. I mean, we're seeing all of that right now. So boy, we gotta turn this ship around, man.
It's
Gotta do
it's
it
a
fast.
tall order. There's times that I get glimmers of hope about that. And a quick question. We do have to wind up, and I got to get to that Prince Harry video. It's
Do it.
cringy
Do it.
funny,
Yeah.
but dude, is there any remnants of Doge left?
No, I mean we're not.
There's not.
Doge seems to have ended, and
Oh,
when Elon Musk left.
okay, I thought that there was still like this effort, some kind of organized cost government cutting kind of
Should be.
effort going on. Well, I mean, we're seeing nothing but corruption on earth left and right. And okay, so the administration, I give a lot of credit for. Okay, we had 4 years of clearly the deep state running the country.
Yes.
And it's not like they went, oh shucks, Trump won. And so
No.
we'll wait 4 more years and we'll try again. No, they're infiltrated and have been for a long time. But
Right.
they really solidified an absolute power under the Biden administration. So my point
They really
being
did.
that this administration is like David versus Goliath and trying to infiltrate that. But I am on the positive side. It's very disenchanting, but I'm hearing every day about the billions and billions of dollars that are being corrupted and siphoned away from this country in every avenue. You just talked about in Minnesota, but overseas in every regard. If we can continue an effort of chipping away at this, is it possible we could save this country without a complete revolution or becoming China? Because I see those as the only other two options.
I think those are the two options. Is that now a revolution doesn't have to be a violent revolution. I don't want a violent revolution, but I think a revolution absolutely has to happen. We have gotten so far away from our constitutional government and what it's supposed to be. We've gotten away from capitalism. We're not a capitalist. And if government can put their dirty thumb on the scale of capitalism, it's not capitalism and it's not the free market anymore. Free is get your your hands free, right? That's the way it's supposed to
Right.
be. And capitalism works itself out. But as I keep saying, it's going to take a groundswell in order to make that. Our government's never going to do that. In fact, our government, we have to, just like the medical thing we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
we the people have got to take the bull by the horns when it comes to how we govern ourselves and bring it back to we the people. We're their boss.
Yeah, it's so backwards right now. And,
Right.
buddy, that's been a very successful movement in hypnotizing a quarter of this country into really being anti American. Not just kinda, but feverishly
Super.
anti
Yes,
American.
that's exactly right.
I'm
And here's
talking anti-family, anti-capitalist,
anti-God.
anti-freedom, anti-God, anti-Second Amendment, anti-First Amendment. I'm worried about this administration screwing around with that one, but
Well, here's
there's a
some
hypnotic thing that has gone on here.
absolutely. And my concern, you know, how during the Biden administration, we talked about the pendulum, right? Now,
Mm.
well, the pendulum's going to swing back. But the problem is when the pendulum swings so far one way,
Uh-huh.
it's going to swing back very far the other
It
way.
sounds like a
And so,
revolution.
yeah, and we got to be careful on both sides of that
Uh-huh.
spectrum too. This is
Uh-huh.
this is it. So we need calm, cool heads to prevail here. Real
In the
leaders
end, I
who
think right
know.
now we need a little bit of fervor. What we really need to do, we've said this before, I believe it now more than ever, is we need to talk to, educate, and cooperate with our younger generations and say, you guys got to take the bull by the horns here.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what,
man.
Barry, that's exactly right. I mean, here,
I think we
this is
need to
why
say, Gen Z, here's your sword, go to battle.
dude, this is why the Turning Point USA thing is so important with all of the
Oh, yeah.
weird things that are going on and the rumors that are surrounding them. They've got a tremendous audience of young people that have literally been fleeced by all of the money printing and everything going back a couple of decades now. And these people are paying the price. And not only that, they're completely brainwashed by the educational system, and they don't know the reason these things are happening, and therefore they have no way to be able to fight it. I am with Casey Fleming at the Turning Point USA America Fest coming up in a couple of weeks here. It's a huge event. We're going to be presenting a breakout called Navigating Challenging Times, and then also we'll be in the main tent, and our subject is Freedom and Your Path Forward. This actually is going to be much of the information will be from the book, The Red Tsunami, coming out on January 20th. But this gives us a chance to speak into these young people's minds about what's actually happening. And we have the empirical evidence that we can share with them, that they can then share with them other people. And this isn't a partisan thing. This isn't about politics. This is about something that every one of us has in common, which is that we all want to have our ability to be free, to be able to have our family, to worship the God of our choice, to be able to love your neighbor, to be able to afford a good living and have a house and all of these kinds of things. We're going to bring that back. And the Achilles heels is these young people out here, Barry, and we're going right to them with this message. And the message is really rooted in the God kind of love, the self-sacrificing kind of love. We're all for it, man. And I do believe that these are the things that we need to do in order to bring this thing around. All the things that we talked about today, all the crappy things, the food things, the border things, the war thing, all of that. We, the people, we can make this happen. We can turn this ship around.
Good. Really good plug, man. Well said. And guys, I highly encourage you to, if you want to take a look at the YouTube channel at this point, I shared the screen of, you have a holiday special for the Red Tsunami.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so you could buy the book. You could buy it now, right?
Yeah. You can pre-order sales now. We have a holiday special that's going on. Get more than one. Get 5. Get 10.
Yeah,
Give them to your friends because you're gonna want to give them to your friends so that you're gonna need somebody to talk to as you read this. And it'd be good to start a book club.
good
Bring it
idea.
to church. Give it to your friends. This is really important stuff. Just like Barry said earlier, is that people need to be educated first on what's going on. And I'm telling you, there's heavy stuff in here because heavy stuff is going on. You're going to feel the 5 stages of grief when you read this, plus one. That plus one, after you have acceptance, you're going to want to take action. We've got
Good.
an action plan laid out in the last chapter, ending in Freedom Forever, which is our grassroots organization where we can all come together and we can link arms and unite and take back our God-given freedoms. That's what we're doing. And we will be successful, Barry.
Oh God, that's music to my ears. Okay, with that, let's lighten this thing up. If you like, oh well, let's please go to over50startingover.com. You could sign up to our email list there. Get this dropped into your email box as it happens. Sign up at YouTube. I'm also posting this on Rumble now. Well,
Ooh,
today I did last time as well. I would encourage
cool.
you guys to look us up there and sign up there. I'm finding a lot more independents are going to Rumble because of the freedom of speech aspect of it. I would like to see Rumble get bigger. I got to be honest with you. I use YouTube a lot is on a personal level because it's fun. And I would like, I hope Rumble surpasses YouTube in that fun aspect. So we could reach more people without the censorship, without the algorithm. We're literally always swimming against the stream, against the current.
Right on. Right on, man.
With that, so Prince Harry did a spot. I never follow these people, but this one is all over the press. He did a cringy spot with Colbert. You didn't hear about this? It was like yesterday.
Oh no, I think I did see his picture in the paper and something, but I didn't know that was
He's
probably
so
the picture.
cringe.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for him. I
I
really
feel
do.
sorry for him too. These people have been taken advantage of since
Yeah.
they were little babies, and now they're how could they not be
Well,
screwed up?
he goes and marries Yoko Ono and
That's
doesn't
right.
know what to do with her.
That
I should
was
say
a good one.
Woko Ono.
Woko,
And doesn't know, next thing he knows, he's ostracized from the family and trying to make a brand on YouTube or Netflix or something. Anyways,
right.
I
He's never really.
apologize for sharing this with you guys, but I hope I remembered to share the sound. And I'll skip through a bit of this guy talking because at most this is 2 minutes. I'll skip through a little bit of it.
So if you was treated like a king for the day, what would you want me to do for you?
Back for me, probably.
You'd want me to do what?
Back.
Beg.
Back. Back.
Beg.
B-A-K. Back.
What?
Bake.
Oh, bake!
Prince Harry had a royal good time on Colbert, and we've got the
I gotta
best.
pause a minute. Dude. Oh, are you squirming?
First off, I'm shocked by his voice.
Yeah, it's like he's doing a gay thing.
Is he?
That was really
what's
gay.
going on? That was my imagination. I'm like, first off, does he? Okay, I'm shocked.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
First up, Harry got high praise for his meme skills, recreating this hilarious viral clip from the Great British Bake Off. One fan called him the king of lip syncing. Just don't tell his dad, who is the actual king of England,
All
or
right.
his brother Prince
This is a
William.
skit.
He's next in line to the UK throne.
I don't get it.
Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, reshared the hilarious reel to her Instagram stories.
Oh, brother.
However, some were
Hilarious.
quick to point out that the timing wasn't a good look. One ex-user wrote, "I find this silly, embarrassing skit whilst Thomas Markle is fighting for his life
was a skit?
in intensive care, deeply
Yeah.
disrespectful."
Yeah, for what that's worth, I just read about this. Meghan Markle's father just had his leg amputated below the knee. He went to the Philippines to get away from the media coverage or something. He looks terrible, like his health. This was not specified. This sounds like one of those diabetes type of things. And he seems like a mess. She definitely seems like a mess. And she's still estranged from him. That's kind of all gross
This week,
stuff.
Megan's estranged father was admitted to the ICU in the Philippines, where he lives, after he underwent emergency surgery.
Okay, I just
Sorry, Stephen.
This is so.
And
so
then
cringe.
jeers. Although it's safe to say these boos were directed at President Trump, not Prince Harry. Take a look.
I wouldn't say we're obsessed with royalty.
Really? I heard you elected a king.
That's a fair point.
Best
God,
part.
can you believe that programming? Can you believe people watch that? I mean, I know not many people do now, but geez,
I mean,
there
I'd
are
rather
people.
watch Sesame Street, actually. That
You'd
would be
get
a lot
more
more
out of it.
entertaining. Yeah. But, I heard you elected a king.
I know, like who wrote that? Not even
coming-
AI would be that bad.
Why? Yeah.
Oh, we gotta
Wait,
finish up.
when
Let's-
was the last time a king was elected? Huh?
That's an oxymoron. Okay, we're at the
And the
end.
prince.
Gets better.
Harry. Harry.
Whew, Steve.
Okay, that's
we've just entered
you're
the twilight
speechless,
zone.
and it's not your microphone this time.
Yeah, that was weird, Barry. That was. I feel weird now.
It's the lighter side, buddy.
Okay.
All right. All right. With that, we got to get on with our weekend. And we'll patch this all together, get it out for you in a bit. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, take care now.
Well, hello there, over 50 friends. Mark Tennant back with you with your AI tip of the week. This week, using AI to make your expertise visible so management and your boss take note. This week's AI tip of the week is going to be a little bit different. It's about survival. It's about the value that you bring to the job. It's about your job. It's about your career. And here's a fact, you have years of experience and it only exists in your head. How many people at work, other than yourself, does that happen to? Probably everybody you work with. And that could make you vulnerable. It could. So why not, idea time, use AI to document and showcase your expertise. Why not do that? Your boss won't be able to ignore the value, and it'll make your expertise visible. So you go from invisible to indispensable. And we have 3 quick AI wins for you in the form of prompts. So let's get going. Number 1, document those processes. What is the one thing that everybody at work comes to you for? What is that one problem that only you can fix? Why not document that with AI? And we've got some prompts for you. Now, these prompts are just general frameworks. You're going to have to massage these and create them for your particular situation. But I think you'll get a really good start with these, and I think these will help you out. So prompt number 1, I handle whatever the task is at my company. Help me create a step-by-step process document that captures my approach, including common problems and how I solve them. Make it clear enough that someone could follow it, but detailed enough to show my expertise. And interview me and ask me 3 questions, one at a time, so you have the context you need to help me. Now, I want you to pay particular attention to that last sentence. Interview me and ask me 3 questions, one at a time. That's important, so you have the context you need to help me. I have found over the last month and a half or so, using this statement at the end of all of my prompts, it really makes the results much richer, much robust. You get more out of the AI because it has time with each question that it's asking you one at a time to develop that context you need to provide that better answer. So always add that. You want to take a screenshot of this prompt? You want to feed it into ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever your favorite chatbot is, have it transcribe it for you so you can use it and again, massage it and create it to your needs. Number 2, create quick reference guides. So think about those questions that people do ask you all the time. Why not turn those into one-page guides? And we've got a prompt for that. So based on my 25 years in whatever field you're in, create a one-page quick reference guide for common workplace situation, whatever that is. Include 3 top mistakes people make, best practices that you've learned, and red flags to watch out for. And there's that last sentence again. Interview me and ask me 3 questions, one at a time, so you have the context you need to help me. And finally, number 3, build your personal knowledge base. And this is kind of bigger picture stuff, because what you're doing here is you're creating an organized library of what you know. And what the heck, it might take a little bit of time to do, but it's fun. Why not? So here's a prompt. Help me create a knowledge-based structure for my area of expertise in whatever field you're in. I want to organize standard procedures I've developed, problem-solving frameworks I use, industry insights from my experience, lessons learned over 30 years of working, or how many years it is in your particular situation, and create categories and tell me what to include in each. And finally, interview me, ask me 3 questions, one at a time, so you have the context you need to help me. So this way, with all 3 of these prompts and these methods, you're showing management that you're creating a library of expertise. Again, you're making yourself valuable. You're making yourself hard to replace. So take these prompts, transcribe those, and make them your own and see what you come up with. So to wrap up, documenting institutional knowledge is why this system will make you indispensable. It shows forward thinking and attitude. It creates performance review ammunition. So if you need help with your performance reviews, and this is about the time of year for it, you've got it with these. And then it proves that you are using and adapting to AI. So now it's your turn. Number 1, your expertise is invisible until you document it. AI helps you showcase those years of knowledge, and visible experts are indispensable experts. Remember that. And I want to hear what you do with all these prompts. Email, let me know what you come up with. mark@marktennant.net. I would just love to hear from you. And let's connect on the socials. LinkedIn probably is the best place to find me. I am at Mark E. Tennant. So take these prompts, make them your own, and see what you come up with. And until next time, have fun with that. Take care.